What's up, kiddos? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to an exciting new video that I have decided to do today. As I've kind of been growing, I don't want to say a fan base because I consider you guys more friends than fans, but I really wanted to take a second to really acknowledge the fact that I have put a lot of fun stuff out on the internet, a lot of quirky things, a lot of nerdy things, and you guys still really don't know me very well, so I've decided to rectify that and decided to actually do a bit of a get to know me tag. So there are 40 questions. I'm answering 20 on this video, and then I'm splitting them into two parts. Basically, they're quirky questions that you guys have probably maybe wondered about me, and hopefully you guys get a bit of clarity on why I am who I am and why I am. I have my phone for this one too. And yes, I have the new 11. I didn't get the 11 Pro because the tri-camera thing looks stupid, so I just got the 11. Anyway, where did you grow up? I have grown up in the Green Mountains of Vermont, specifically straight out of the Richmond-Huntington two towns. Those are my old stomping grounds. It's where I spent most of my childhood, just wreaking havoc with all of my friends from elementary school, and Vermont's a beautiful place to live. Where do you currently live? I live in the same house I grew up with, currently with my parents. Who is your first best friend? Pulling it from the recesses of my brain, I got picked on a lot growing up in this state for being African American, because I am, in case any of you guys hadn't noticed. I had one friend in elementary school, my first friend that I really remember having, who was a young lady by the name of Dakota, and she was this adorable little girl who always had her hair in a braid, and she genuinely didn't give a flying frick about the color of my skin. She just thought I was a cool, quirky, funny little guy. How tall are you? I am 5'10" and a half. So I'm not gargantuanly tall. No one's ever called me small, but I'm not like a giant or anything. I really wish I could get the extra inch and a half and say I was 6 feet tall, just because. I'm 6 feet tall in my cowboy boots. Dogs or cats? The answer is yes. I love and respect all of Mother Nature and her creatures. We're the monsters that don't belong. That came out significantly more morbid than I meant it to. My apologies. Funniest moment throughout high school. Oh, this is bad. I was a weird kid and I got up to a lot of shit when I was in high school. Pardon my language. I pissed myself on a date with a girl who I had had a crush on for years at that point, because she went to kiss me and I got scared. So that gives you a bit of context for how I am to date. If I really, really like you, I might pee if you try and touch me. Another really great one is I puked all over myself after a night where I had proceeded to drink and ate like 2.5 boxes of sugary cereal to myself and yacked all of it out on the front lawn and cried outside for the majority of the rest of the night. What year were you born? I am 1997. Yeah, I'm Gen Z, so all of you millennials now can have one more reason to maybe not like me. Are you in/have gone to college? I went to college for 1 semester and I ducked out. My brain's not built or designed for the classroom. I'm ADHD, I'm dyslexic. Up until recently, and by recently I mean like 2 or 3 years ago, I've had a bit of an authority issue, so class wasn't the best thing for me. I would like to go sometime when I'm older and more mature. What is your favorite drink? If I am going non-alcoholic, I would have to say water followed by a nice pomegranate tea. But if I'm going alcoholic, there is a beverage I concocted back when I used to bartend, which is basically the Green Mountain Bed and Breakfast. It's basically apple cider, Sapling's maple bourbon, and egg whites along with a couple other accoutrements, and I could have that for breakfast every single day. I don't, because liquor is expensive, and also don't drink before you have to drive and do stuff. What is your spirit animal and why? Oh, this is very easy. Caracal. I am in love with the caracal. If you guys don't know what a caracal is, it's a medium-sized wild cat native to Africa. It has the highest vertical leap of any cat in the world as far as like its body length, size, and weight. Sitting and clocked at about 10 feet straight up in the air. I would go with caracal because they're perfect, they're beautiful, they're cute, and they also make some of the weirdest assortment of noises that I have ever heard in my existence. You're wearing perfume. What scent is it? Gosh, I'm gonna sound like such a dude in this moment. Some kind of old world bourbon, wood smoke, and cooking red meat. If you could like condense those 3 scents, equal them out so like one didn't overpower the other, but you could still get all of them. Just like a very like earthy, natural, dark, I don't know how scents work, but like a darker scent. I'm really, really into that. Maybe throw in a hint of maple syrup just to sweeten it up just a little bit, because those 3 things are pretty potent and they're pretty heavy to smell. But maple syrup is very, very light and lovely. Maybe I should make cologne. Tea or coffee? Decaffeinated tea. Because being ADHD and dyslexic, caffeine in this system, nothing will ever get done. What are your life goals? Oh God, there is a plethora. The first one is probably making YouTube work and turning YouTube into a job. Support me on Patreon. That is one of the big ones. Another life goal of mine is to get back to a level of physical fitness and stature that I was in high school. I was an athlete my first few years of high school. I went to freshman states in shot put and discus, took first place in shot put. I ran track, I did football, I wrestled for a bit. I've always done a bit of martial arts and into boxing. And it's gotten to the point in the last couple months where I get winded very, very quickly, and I am significantly heavier than I used to be, and I don't like it, and I want to get back to a level of performance that I am proud of. Another life goal of mine, and this is the big one, my favorite musician right now is a man by the name of Avi Kaplan. He used to be the bass singer for Pentatonics. He's currently on his own, writing his own music and doing a lot of folk music. He is my favorite. I grew up on folk music. I love it very, very much. I would love to work with him and or open for him someday. What sports do you play or have you played? I played soccer, I played basketball, I played football, I've wrestled, and I've done track and field. All of them in middle school and high school. I originally did cross country back when I was very, very young because I was too small to do anything else. And then once I got to high school and I filled out, I kind of started playing more heavy duty contact sports. There we go. Have any books you read changed your life? Yes. The Dresden Files as a whole by Jim Butcher is my favorite book series of all time. The main character, a man by the name of Harry Dresden, seems very, very human. He seems very, very realistically relevant, and he seems very close to home in the sense that he makes mistakes that are mistakes that we make in everyday life, and he makes them regularly, in the sense that he is a man who is proud to a fault. He does a lot of things thinking that they're right, but finds out that he's doing them a lot to fuel his own ego. Another one that I just finished reading, don't know how I missed it because it's an incredible story, is V for Vendetta. I genuinely feel like there's something to be said about fighting what you believe to be wrong. It's taken to an extreme in V for Vendetta. Don't go out killing people. Killing people is not don't do that. What is your favorite movie? The Labyrinth, because David Bowie crushes it. Bedknobs and Broomsticks as well. Who are your favorite YouTubers? If I'm looking just to like watch stuff, I'm a big fan of the Valley Folk. I'm a big fan of Smosh. Markiplier. Blame the Controller is who I go to if I want to know anything that's up with Overwatch, which is one of my favorite video games. If I really want to do more comedy-based stuff, Bert Kreischer is a big one for me. Greg Davis. And if I'm going for music, I'll listen to just about anything once. However, Avi, of course, is numero uno. Do you speak any languages and how well? I've picked up a bit of Italian because my adoptive mother, Teresa, is Sicilian. Picked up a bit of French because my father is French-Canadian. I had to learn a bit of Swahili due to a trip that I took to Tanzania years ago as a chaperone for my brother's class. I can ask basic questions and get by in baseline for Swahili, but like if you start gibbering at me in any of those three languages, you'll lose me. Took American Sign Language as well and got pretty good. I speak a couple phrases in a couple languages, but don't ask me to have a full-blown conversation, it won't be good. Are you single or taken? I am taken. I'm going on 3 years of being taken and very, very happy for it. You guys know my girlfriend Anna, who is a genuinely wonderful, wonderful woman. I cannot begin to express how much happiness she's brought me, and she's a wonderful, kind-hearted, beautiful human being. I could rant about Anna for hours, but I don't want to waste your time, so let's go. Note to self, she is my favorite person. What is your idea of a dream date? Well, let me tell you. I'm assuming this is with Anna because we are currently dating. The perfect date for me would probably be a co-ed like car trip around Vermont where we hit like a bunch of different thrift stores for shopping and also go on like a bourbon tasting tour of like different breweries throughout Vermont, because we got a couple, not an abundance of it, but we got a few. So that would be like most of the day. In the evening, there's a new tomahawk throwing place that opened up. Obviously everything's closed right now, but we would go and chuck tomahawks for a bit, which I think would be really fun. Then we would probably go out to a nice dinner, line our stomachs, and then go dancing and clubbing. And at that point, I would like probably invite like a bunch of my friends from high school, maybe a couple of my friends from Lyric Theater, which is a local community group, which is the whole reason why me and Anna actually met. And yeah, then we just go home and fall asleep next to each other, and that is a dream date for me. How long was your longest relationship? This one with Anna. We're creeping up on 3 years together, which I know doesn't sound like very, very long for all of you people out there, but for a young whippersnapper with commitment issues who can't perceive anything from tomorrow to 5 years from now, it's a long time for me. And again, I'm the happiest I've been. How would you describe your fashion sense? I think my fashion sense is pretty sound. I really like things that accent my skin tone, and my dress code is very, very sporadic. 2/3 of what I wear are usually women's clothing because I am convinced that you ladies have more fun with your clothes than we men do. I remember, quick side note in the story, my buddy Evan, who I met during Lyric Theater show that we both auditioned for and got into many, many moons ago. We were in the Who's Tommy together. But the first day I walked in and I'm basically wearing what I am now. Well, I was a tank top and like baggy sweatpants and then like my dance shoes. Second rehearsal I came in, I was wearing leggings that Evan swears that were the same pattern and size of his younger teenage sister. I was wearing this really flowy tank top that went down to about mid-thigh, and I had sparkly purple eyeliner on. I had done up my entire face, so I proceeded to very much confuse my buddy Evan, and to this day he introduces me to people as the most flamboyantly bisexual jackass you will ever meet, which is one of the sweetest things that anyone has ever said to me. But yeah, my fashion sense is pretty all over the place. There are some days where I'm dressed like this and this is how I will leave my home because I can't be bothered, and then there are other days where I'll do my entire face up and maybe go out in leggings and a pair of my heels because I feel like looking cute for the kids. What is your go-to hairstyle? Right now I got a bunch on the top. I'm planning on shaving the sides back down. I do have a plan to like cornrow the top, and once this gets long enough to actually start braiding it. Right now it's tall on the top, short on the sides, keeping the beard pretty close in, but at the same time I might grow this out as well, who knows. How many siblings do you have? I've lost count of my birth family. I've been very on and off talking to them over the last few years. As an adult, it's gotten a bit better. In my birth family, I genuinely don't know. However, with my adoptive family, I do have a younger brother. He is adopted from a totally different family than me. His name is Michael. What is your go-to fast food order? Well, it depends on what fast food we're talking about. If we're talking Mickey D's, a number 9, which is 2 cheeseburgers, a 10-piece chicken McNugget, no pickles on the burgers, by the way, then a medium vanilla milkshake, and a bottle of water. Do you use PC or Mac? PC gaming all the way. Overwatch, the Gray Men, come play Overwatch with me. I love making friends. Your most memorable vacation memory? One of them was being run over by a swimming sea turtle. I was wading through the water when I was about, I don't know, maybe 11, 12, somewhere in there, towards my parents who were on this like dock, and they were telling me going like this and yelling, but because there was water in my ears and I'm also not good at listening, I wasn't paying attention, and a sea turtle was coming right at me and it hit me in my thighs and I fell under the water and it swam right over the top of me. It was a very, very beautiful moment, but it was also kind of terrifying because I was a child and I thought I was going to drown and die. The second one, my father took me and my brother on trips as a Christmas gift years ago. My brother went deep sea fishing. I chose to go horseback riding. So we went to a ranch in Arizona for a long weekend and we went horseback riding for the entirety of the time. However, me and Dad really didn't plan ahead. We wore jeans, and after the first 2 days, that inseam on your jeans feels like it's made about that thick, and it feels like it's made out of razor wire. It took all the hair off the insides of both of our legs. And my most memorable moment was watching my father in the bathroom moaning in a way that should only be reserved for behind closed doors, while rubbing an ice-cold stick of lip balm on the inside of his legs. That is in the top 5 of the hardest I have ever laughed and can remember laughing in living memory. He'll probably kill me for putting that on the internet, but you know. What are your morning/evening routines? Morning routines, I usually get up, shower, brush my teeth. I'll either film or probably write a bit, maybe sketch for a bit. Right now, a lot of my days involve just like writing, prepping, planning. Do you have any bad habits? If I'm hurting over something, I don't go to the doctors. I don't go to the doctors or the dentist as much as I probably should. It's not that I don't take care of myself, I just don't schedule appointments. I tend to get very, very loud when I'm excited, and for 2 of the most important women in my life, my mother and my girlfriend, it's very, very jarring to be close to me if I'm very, very animated about something. They're both 2 people who very much value quiet time. Up until about 4 or 5 years ago, I was a notorious liar. That brought me a lot of grief. Don't lie to people, guys, it's not worth it. But yeah, those are the only ones I can think of. There are hundreds upon thousands, I have no doubt. If Anna was here, she'd be reading me the riot act. And last, and certainly not least, tell us one thing about you that we wouldn't know. Oh man, I'm a pretty open book. One thing that you guys don't know is one of the things you will have to deal with as its own mini segment on this channel is me, once I get out and get my own place, perpetually getting more and more animals. I want reptiles, I want little fuzzies, I want dogs, I want cats. I really want a cow, a donkey, a pig, and maybe a couple of horses. Who knows where I'm going to find the money to buy and support all of those creatures. Anna knows that to an extent. I don't think she understands just how many animals she may have to deal with. Well, that was the first 30 questions. The next 30 are going on a separate video. I'll probably be exact same setting. just because I can't be bothered to like film it on another day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys enjoy Get to Know Me Part 2. Thank you so much to Anna for always being a critic and a sounding board for all of the stuff you put in here. Also being the chief editor of all of my videos. I'm learning as fast as I can, but at the same time, there's an aspect of it that I feel like I will never truly be as good as she is. Feel free to follow me on all forms of social media. I'm posting a lot of really goofy things, trying to keep things light. I genuinely do believe that you guys can find a safe place on this channel, have a bit of a laugh, feel good, all of that fun stuff. Feel free to support me on Patreon. Obviously, I'm trying to make this a working job for myself. There's exclusive Patreon content. Again, keep each other safe, keep faith, and until next time, you kids know the drill. Be good, and if you can't be good, be safe. And if you can't be safe, make sure that after all the dust is cleared, they've named something after you. Until next time, kiddos. Bye!